Hi, this is Chris with the Release Technique. Now, recently we were looking at one of the ways that you can measure your progress towards freedom and identify just how free you are. And it's how quiet your mind is. We did a whole video about it. You can click on our channel, our YouTube channel below, and check it out. But now, let's take a look at another way that you can measure your progress and just know how free you are in your life. And that is how imperturbable you are. Now, I like the word imperturbability. It has a very clear definition. It means no one and nothing can bother you. Now, it's not being stupid or being out of touch in the world. In fact, it's the contrary. It's really being plugged in, totally immersed in the world, but above it in a way that no one and nothing can touch you, bother you. It's being a master instead of being reactive. Now, as you release, and you release more and more of your feelings that get stirred up by situations and people, you'll notice that those people and those situations just don't bother you anymore. And it's not that you're out of touch with them, you're just more in charge. And you'll see that what is happening inside of you, if you're more positive inside, instead of being reactive and negative and so on, that reflects what goes on out there. Because the more imperturbable you get, those people in those situations, they just don't come around anymore to even bother you in the first place. And it proves that it is all your picture. Now, I'll give you another example of how you can see how imperturbable you are that you may or may not have even noticed. Now, take one of these mechanisms in life that stir up our feelings, like movies. Now, the whole point of movies, the reason why they pull in audiences is to stir up feelings. So they have horror movies. So we go see a horror movie, we get all scared, and that's exciting to us. Or an action movie. They're shooting at each other, they're fighting, and we get all into it. Oh yeah, get them, get them. And that's exciting. Or dramas or romances that tug on our heartstrings so that we cry or we empathize with what's going on the camera. Now, when we do that and we get involved with these feelings, there's no discrimination going on. We're identifying with what is happening on that screen and thinking that it's real. That's what pulls at our emotions so much. Now, the more you release, the more imperturbable you get. You'll see that you'll go to a film, a horror movie or an action movie, and you just sit back and go, that's interesting, but it doesn't affect you. And so you're discriminating. You're seeing that it is just a story playing out. It's not even real. And to that degree, none of our feelings are real. So it's a good demonstration to pay attention to. And I'll show you in just a second how you can pull up any feeling and see that it's not real. But if you really want total imperturbability and master your world, be above it instead of being reactive and being negative and suffering with problems, you have a wonderful opportunity to join us in Holland for the 9-day Lester's Way retreat. This is a very powerful intensive. We're going to be spending 9 days pulling up our deepest, scariest feelings, pulling them up so that we can see them, they're not even real, and letting them all go. It's going to be super powerful. And it's going to give you an opportunity to carve out a huge amount of freedom for yourself. So click the link below, check it out, and join us in Holland for the powerful Lester's Way retreat. Now, take a look at a feeling that's still bothering you in your life right now. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's anger, and maybe there's a specific situation that's stirring it up. Now, never mind that situation. Just bring up that feeling that's so bothersome to you. And it's bothering you because it keeps coming around and around and again. Now, welcome it up right now. And could you just say yes to that feeling? See, most of the time we're fighting with it and we're trying to push it down because we don't like it. Here's your opportunity to let it go. Just say yes to it. And could you say yes to it even more? And could you say yes to it even more? And could you say yes to it even more? And could you say yes to it even more? And even more. And even more. And even more. And even more. And just say yes to it even more. And even more. And a little bit more. Now notice how you feel. See if you feel freer now, lighter. Now invite up the rest of that feeling. So you've been holding it down all this time, trying to avoid it, but you've actually been holding on to it. Now just like if you're gripping something in your hand, it's the same way. You've been gripping this feeling. So now just loosen your grip, just open up. And let the rest of this fear, anger, guilt, frustration, apathy, whatever that feeling is, just let it go. Invite it up. Welcome it up. Allow it to arise. And just allow it to pass through. You don't have to do anything. Just allow it. And allow it to pass through even more. And even more. And even more. Now notice how you feel. See if you feel calmer, more imperturbable, which means less bothered. Now that's freedom. Now prove to yourself that by getting imperturbable, you can master your world, you can create whatever you want. It's all your picture. And that these feelings and problems that we've been so wound up about and fighting with, they aren't even real. None of it's real except what you choose. So choose freedom. Join us, the 9-Day Lester's Way Retreat in Holland. And we look forward to being with you and of discovering what Lester discovered.